Oh, they done it again. Y'all need to listen to what they're saying. Cause not the Simpsons trying to tell us what's coming.
Down to this one play, a final field goal. The kick is up, it hits the crossbar and... Go!
Anarchy, the end of civilization, coming soon to an America near you.
America can't collapse. We're as powerful as ancient Rome.
Take a look at this.
The modern world, an inexorable march of progress.
Sweet.
Or is it?
We're slaves to the system. Close the supermarket and we starve. Cut off the tap, we drink our cat's blood.
If things go south, the sheeple will clean out every supermarket in town.
Typical sheeple.
Homer, we all know America's collapse is about 3 months away.
6.
Take your laptops and electronics out the bag. If you got a hoodie on, take it off! Take it off! How many times you gotta get touched?
Would you like to clarify that?
I can clarify it very easily. You can follow the money, and the money of Black Lives Matter goes back to a guy, George Soros, so that tells you one thing. And let me tell you, all lives matter. It's not just about Black Lives Matter, okay? Now, if you really are concerned, start talking about school choice in the black community. If you really are concerned, start talking about the decimation of the black family, which I don't hear. Do not be manipulated by people that are using you as a political tool so that you can keep your own people suppressed. Get off the plantation and think on your own.
Damn! Your great-grandparents escaped abortion. You escaped abortion. You know that? You wouldn't be able to stand here and run your little entitled mouth if you was aborted. You know that? You wouldn't be able to stand here and breathe if your mother decided to give you the death sentence. So I don't want to hear nothing about abortion, because you know what? You really don't believe it. You don't really believe that you should kill your own baby in the womb of its mother. You don't believe that. You know what you believe? You believe that you don't want to be called a bigot. You believe that you want to be accepted by your friends. You believe that you want to be popular. You believe that you want to be liked. So you wouldn't dare go against the popular narrative, because you know you might lose your friends, you might lose your job, you might get canceled, you might not be able to make the money you want to make, you might not have the fame you want to have. And so what you do, you pander and you cater to people who literally want to murder human beings.
Did you see Biden's speech?
The Revelations Hellfire and Brimstone speech? I saw that speech. What a joke, you know? I mean, I shouldn't have expected anything else. I should have expected exactly what happened. But the thing that bothers me the most is that he goes on a tirade on Republicans and conservatives and how they are the biggest threat to democracy right now. Is half of America are the biggest threat because we don't agree with your ridiculous socialist agenda of just giving everything away and running the country into the ground. How about if you spoke to the American people about stuff that we really care about? Securing a border, stopping the flow of fentanyl that's killing us. How about the children, the sex trafficking that's happening there? How about gas prices, inflation? How about the economy? How about all the other things right now that are the most important things to America? No, you're going to spend your time in front of the American people on a political bandstand, basically. That's part of your campaign for your running for president again, which good luck on that. I mean, the whole thing is a fucking joke, quite honestly. It's absurd to think that 18 months ago, 2 years ago, he was the president that was going to unite us, and his entire campaign was on unity and how he was going to draw us all in. And when he won, all the Democrats and everybody on social media, oh, thank God that we have a real president now. He's going to unite us, and it's going to be warm and fuzzy. And then you spend all that time purposely dividing us, and such a divisive speech.
Is Joe Biden.
I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black, they're going to put you all back in chains.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
Biden sought and received support from Mississippi Senator James Eastland, the Democratic chairman of the Judiciary Committee and a leading symbol of Southern resistance to desegregation. He frequently spoke of blacks as, quote, an inferior race.
Biden spoke highly of KKK member Senator Byrd at his funeral.
If there's ever a senator who, in fact,
reflected his state. It was Robert C. Byrd.
He called black kids roaches and said he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle.
That racist dog, what I heard the first time in 1972 when I was doing an intern thing at a D.C. think tank, and he said Negro children are like roaches. He said Negroes were animals and they turned the streets into jungles. And he and Senator Eastland had a plan where they could put all of these Negro animals in zoos. Now, we talk about the 94 crime bill, that wasn't shit. The 91 was bad.
How insane is that? How insane is that? That a woman could be walking across the street right now and she's pregnant, right? She could be walking across the street pregnant, and a man come by with his car and kill that woman and her baby. You know what that judge is going to do? That judge is going to give that man 2 counts of homicide. 2 counts of vehicular homicide. Not 1, 2. Why would that judge say that that man that hit that pregnant woman and killed her and her baby is guilty of 2 homicides? Why would he say that? The reason he would say that is because not only the woman carrying the baby is a real human being, but the baby she's carrying is a real human being. The same baby that's kicking in her womb, turning around, pushing his little hand against the inside of her stomach. And then when she pokes back, the baby turns. And then it kicks in another place. And then she pokes back and she's having fun with her live baby. Her human being in her womb. It's responding to stimuli. It is a real human being. You cannot claim to be BLM. You cannot claim that Black Lives Matter. You cannot claim that racism is wrong. You cannot claim that any harm against human beings is wrong when you accept this. You are a hypocrite. You are completely inconsistent. If you believe that the most vulnerable, the most innocent, the most defenseless people on the planet do not deserve to be protected, you are a complete clown if you believe that. None of y'all can be taken seriously.
Biden was a leading architect of today's criminal justice system, which contributed to mass incarceration and the police misconduct that protesters are fighting back against today.
I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced. Increase the penalties. Increase them. I would put the son of a gun in jail. Put them to death.
He wanted to remove judicial discretion for those who, quote, don't meet the middle-class criteria of susceptibility to rehabilitation.
They are beyond the pale, many of those people. They literally have not been socialized. They are in jail. Away from my mother, your husband, our family.
He lied about his education, and he bragged he wrote the Patriot Act.
And you can ask the Attorney General this, because I got a call when he introduced the Patriot Act. He said, Joe, I'm introducing the act basically as you wrote it.
In 2005, Biden made it completely impossible to discharge student loan debt. And when you go to collect Social Security, up to 15% can also be withheld by the Treasury. Which brings us to his behavior around kids.
You remember that? By the way, he gave me permission to touch him.
Here he is talking about a 9-year-old girl.
Love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady in her legs crossed.
It's even a joke on SNL.
4 women have come forward claiming that Joe Biden touched them in ways that made them uncomfortable. And yeah, I can see that.
According to MSN, his daughter Ashley wrote in her diary, I remember having sex with friends at a young age, showers with my dad probably not appropriate. Biden pressured the president of Ukraine to fire the prosecutor investigating Burisma, the company his son Hunter worked for.
You're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. I think it was, 6 hours? I looked at it, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
This is the guy paid $83,000 a month. But apparently his salary was cut in half 2 months after Joe left office, which makes one wonder, what was Burisma paying for? We now have a voicemail that indicates Joe Biden knew of Hunter's dealings with China. And just released, Hunter allegedly had Joe Biden's name stored in his phone as Pedo Peter. which makes sense. This is the man who got 81 million votes.